We love our Greek produce at Ouzo Talk, but it hasn't always been easy to get a hold of. That's why you should check out the Greek Providore. From unique wines and spirits to herbs, spices, sweets, cookbooks, gifts, and so much more, there's genuinely no better place to find products sourced directly from premium producers in Greece online. Whether it's for your own pantry or you're looking for a special gift, the Greek Providore has you covered. Visit thegreekprovidore.com.au to check out their range. The Greek Providore, proud sponsors of this episode of Ouzo Talk.
Sound is.
Nick Athanasiou, you've been back from Greece now for a few weeks, mate. You got to tell me, how's the depression holding up?
Look, it's getting a little bit better now because we've got great weather in Sydney. We've got blue sky. So, look, I'm finally getting over the depression period. It's probably been, a month now. So, look, it is getting better. So, thanks for asking, mate.
Mate, just checking in with you. We all know what it's like coming back from Greece, but I've been most interested with your stories. You've had some absolute crackers since you've came back, and you've been sharing them with me. In our morning talks, mate. How good's it been? You did a lot of learning on this trip, didn't you?
I did, and look, have you heard of the Sarakatsani people?
You mentioned them briefly to me, and I had no idea what you were talking about, and I'm sure a lot of people won't know, so enlighten us.
Yeah, well, look, I'll give a quick version, but I was sitting at my cousin's petrol station. We had a couple of boys that joined us, and we're literally hitting back the Tsipro.
Is that the night you called me?
Yes, the night we called you. It was 4 a.m, we're all fucking drunk. So those boys are Sarakatsani people.
Right.
So they're like a nomadic tribe, indigenous Greeks, and they've been around since like 300 BC. I was telling you the story and I was blown away. And they're nomadic because they've got a flock of sheep, I guess, and they go from season to season to different pastures.
Wow.
So they don't really have a particular area, but wherever the good pastures are. But blew me away. So we've got to get some expert on here to tell us a bit more about the Sarakatsani people who've been around since 300 BC.
Wow. And you were saying that Karaiskaki is one of these people, is that right?
Yes, one of the Greek War of Independence soldiers is one of them, which is the Olympiakos Stadium named after it.
It is. Olympiakos Stadium in Piraeus, named after Karaiskaki, Karaiskaki Stadium.
There you go. So you'll hear more about them, but we'll have to find an expert. Don't trust my judgment.
Absolutely.
Tsipro.
Your Tsipro-fueled
banter, exactly.
But I tell you, Karaiskaki Stadium is a good segue because today we have someone who has played football at the highest level, certainly in Australia, but also in some leagues around the world as well, and also for his country, which isn't Australia today. So shall I introduce him?
Yes, this might be a first for us, I think.
I think it is a first for us. So let's introduce him because he's in the room with us, ready and raring to go. So our guest today is a household name in the Australian and New Zealand footballing world because he's been plying his trade in top football leagues across multiple countries since 2005, including for the New Zealand All Whites national team. At everything from friendlies, competition games to the Olympics, World Cup qualifiers and more. He's played in the A-League with Wellington Phoenix, Brisbane Roar, Melbourne Victory, Sydney FC, and now the Western Sydney Wanderers, winning 4 A-League championships in the process, and he's currently among the most capped A-League players while also scoring over 100 goals.
Wow.
He's played for Panathinaikos in the Greek Super League and, I'm going to butcher this, Alanya Vladikavkaz in Russia. Joining us fresh off the plane from Brisbane, having scored a goal last night in the Australia Cup, our first Greek Kiwi, Kosta Barbarouses. Welcome to Ouzo Talk.
Karika boys, thank you very much for having me.
Kia ora.
Cheer, bro.
Fish and chips.
He's reading your notes, mate.
Mate, you cop that stuff all the time,
All
don't
the
you?
time, yeah.
From the Aussie players?
Yeah. I got it yesterday. I can't remember what I said now, but got it straight away, yeah. Thumbs up, I said. After the game, we had to hold a sign up. I said, thumbs up.
Yeah.
And the boys, thumbs up.
Classic.
Yeah, get it all the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
How good is the banter between the Australian players and yourself and other Kiwis?
It's good. It's top notch. Even week to week when I'm playing for Wellington or when I was playing for Wellington, you're playing at Aussies every week.
Yeah.
And the back and forth is great, yeah. It gets competitive at times, but...
of course it does.
Most of the time it's pretty lighthearted and then it's really good, yeah.
Fantastic, mate. Well, you've been around. Like you've played for a number of clubs, which I'm sure we're going to go into. But how's the body keeping up?
Yeah, I mean,
This is what season number? What?
season 19 for me in
Wow.
Touchwood, Depaxilo. It's going good. I like to think I look after myself quite a lot to keep it at this level. I don't know if people sort of see it watching, but it's quite a demanding physical league. We play in the summer, so the physical demands are quite high. So I am quite proud of the fact that I'm, still going. I'm 35 now, so still going and keeping well, keeping my body in decent nick in a pretty demanding league. So yeah, all is going well, and
fantastic.
I'm doing my best to stay there.
Well, you're looking fit, mate. You're looking fit, looking sharp. Particularly, you played yesterday and you flew in today, so. Mate, he's looking good. What do you
He's
reckon,
backing
Tom?
up, mate. He's backing up hard. That's what we love. That's the Greek spirit. It's the Anzac spirit. Mate, he's one of us.
He's backing up. Classic.
Love it. All right. Well, on that note, shall we do the honours, Nick?
Yes, my friend. Let's have a drink.
Stini Yamas.
Yamas.
Welcome, Kosta.
Well, thank you. Mine's Netol, by the way. But
Yes,
I'll have
I should point out to everyone, being an athlete, Costa is not partaking in drinks today, obviously. But Nick and I will drink for you.
I hope so, yeah. I hope so.
We'll have 1.5 each.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I can't imagine that alcohol, especially the kind of rocket fuel we're drinking, is good for recovery.
Absolutely not. It's probably the worst thing, yeah.
It is. There you go.
Yeah.
So, Nick, do us the honours. What are we actually drinking today?
Look, we've got 3 versions of our tikkudiahi because it is winter in Australia and it is cold. And we did say in a couple of episodes that this is good medicine for us.
It is.
Keep us from getting sick. But
Kaloya
one
tolemo.
shot's good.
Yes.
One shot's good, 2 shots bad. Is that the rule? I think that's the rule.
Well, it depends who you ask. We've been told, we've said it multiple times on the show, 0 alcohol is the only safe amount of alcohol you should be having, being a neurotoxin.
Paxanos, mate, he killed
I know,
us.
he really did. But, having said that, a little bit, etziado calor, it's good for you.
One's good. Yeah, one's good
That's
for your
right.
throat. Yeah,
But yes, this is the 35N that comes courtesy of the Greek Providor. Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Look, and we're having the Syrah version as well of the Tsikoudia. But I understand there is a new version as well, which we haven't tried, but we're going to reach out to Crystal sooner than later. It's a blue bottle. So I think we need the collection.
We do.
It's like footy cards.
I think they actually do have a box where they all line them up in all the different colours, and it is like a footy card scenario.
Well, they're looking pretty empty, boys, so you're doing a good job.
We've done a job on them,
you're
see?
doing a good job.
Drink responsibly, guys.
Yes, definitely. Well, geez, welcome again, Kosta.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So were you born in Wellington?
I was born in Wellington, New Zealand. If you want a bit of a background, both my parents were born in Greece.
Yeah.
And I know there's a bit of a wager going on.
There is.
With the where.
What part of Greece?
So mum is from a village called Konopina, and my dad's from a village called Trifos. The closest town or city, I guess, to there would be Agrinio.
Okay.
Peloponnese.
Yes.
Okay.
Acarnania, sort of around
Is that
there.
Peloponnese? Agrinio. Yeah, that's sort of...
I guess Lefkada you'd recognise.
Yeah.
It's
I know
sort of
where it
inland
is.
from Lefkada.
Okay.
Oh, you're
yes,
from there.
yes,
Okay, we
so-
sort of both got it wrong. What did
we
I
did.
say? I said central Greece or
Yeah.
Thessaloniki up north. But
Yeah, so I was more north as well,
Yeah,
so we're
okay.
way off.
Not quite. It's not quite that far.
Agrinio.
Agrinio, yes,
Okay.
the most recognisable place. Yeah, very small villages.
Yeah.
From what I know, 1,300 people
Yeah, wow.
in the village.
Yeah.
I went to visit once. I
Oh,
was
did
playing
you?
there, and yeah.
Who was that goalkeeper we had on? Is he from there?
Spiros Economopoulos, so he
Okay.
played for AEK. He was the MVP in 1989. So he
Greek
was-
goalkeeper.
Jeez.
Was he from there?
I can't remember.
We'll have
I
to go
don't-
back and listen.
I don't think so. But
He was from that area, I'm pretty sure.
he played for Greece. Obviously, he lives up around the corner here, actually.
Yeah, okay, interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so both parents from Agrinio.
Yeah.
And did your parents meet in Greece or did they meet in New Zealand?
So I guess the families sort of met in Greece, but my mum moved with her family to Wellington when she was 5 or 6 in the early 70s.
Oh, wow.
Very early 70s. And then Dad moved over by himself initially, I guess sort of to meet up with Mum when he finished the army at about 2021. So Mum spent most of her life in Wellington, her early years in Greece. And then Dad, as soon as he finished he was the oldest boy as well, so they served the longest, as you probably know.
Yep.
And then his brother followed him after he served, but most of my dad's side's still in Greece, and my mum's whole immediate family and sort of extended families in Wellington now. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess probably going to ask the same
Yeah.
question. Yeah,
I'm sure you are.
What made your mum's family go to Wellington? What was the attraction? Is that what you're going to say?
I sort of sometimes think they went in the plane 3 hours too far. It would have been good to.
I forgot to get off.
Yeah, well, my dad said as well when he landed in Wellington, there's no, buildings and any sort of, I guess not skyscrapers, but any tall buildings. He thought he's going he's going from one Chordio to another. He didn't know much about, where he was going or what he was really doing. So initially, my mum's mum, so my iya from my mum's side, her brother moved over to Wellington first in the early to mid 60s. Again, probably not with much of a plan, and got into the sort of the fruit business, fruit distribution management. Then my iya and Papo came over. They own fish and chip shops, which was quite common back then.
So pretty similar to what was going on in Australia as well.
Yeah, but why they chose Wellington, I still don't really know. And
it's highly likely that they just didn't know.
They didn't know.
Even like his parents, my grandparents, they keep talking about the fact that, no me dices tixérame pupiéname. They had no idea.
No idea.
It's usually someone from the village that goes there first, and then sort of everyone follows through.
Yeah, so I think that was my Phil Costa, my iya's brother. Yeah, but I'm not sure if he was the first one from that area. Yeah, but he was certainly the first from our family. Yeah.
Wow.
But we do have a lot of listeners from Wellington too.
We do actually
notice our stats. Probably all your people, mate.
Probably, yeah. They'd be probably related to me.
Yeah. There you go. Well, cheers to Team Wellington.
Cheers. Fantastic, absolutely. So, what was it like growing up in? I know it's a very broad question. I mean, we know what it was like growing up in a Greek Australian household. Are you aware of what was different about growing up Greek in New Zealand?
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
We're foodies at heart at Uzo Talk, which is why we love the Greek providor. Get a real taste of the very best produce that Greece has to offer. From olive oils and delicious artisan sweets, to earthy herbs, memorable wines, warming spirits and more. All made by passionate, independent farmers and producers from across Greece. So whether you're looking to fill your pantry or buy a special gift for a loved one, the Greek Providor has you covered. Visit thegreekprovidor.com.au today and bring Greece home.
Probably not at the time, I do now, but in saying that, we had a pretty strong community then. Now, a lot of the Greek communities either move here to Australia, I feel, or back to Greece. So there's only, I think, 2,000 or 3,000 Greeks in Wellington. And it's a bit of a guess in my behalf, but there was probably closer to 10, 15 when I was growing up. But I had a great upbringing there, very safe, very green, and I had 3 brothers, a lot of cousins where my memories are playing football any chance we got. Outside in the backyard, out of the park. Standard sort of stuff with people that love sports, till it's dark, you're outside and playing football. But we did have a strong sense of the Greek community. I went to Greek school 2-3 times a week from 4 to about 12, 13. My mum was a Greek school teacher. Sort of part-time. Part-time,
So you copped it at home as well.
Yeah. All the pimata and stuff I had to do them. I used to do... used to go around with my brother and my cousin to the Greek people's houses to do the Christmas carols in Greek.
Calendar.
Yeah, calendar, till we were sort of old enough to fight against it, really. We'd be out all day for Saturday and Sunday, and we'll get Macca's at the end of it.
Yeah,
so,
that's your reward. Singing Wales of Vasily said that.
That's right. Yeah. So a pretty strong sense of community. And again, I didn't really know what it was like back in Greece, or even how it was being a Greek growing up in Australia. But I felt pretty Greek growing up, to be honest. And
Wow.
felt a bit of both sides, Kiwi and Greek. But I had a strong affinity to my Greek heritage. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Kiwis are really friendly. I think I've told you lots of times. Sort of a backpack.
Yeah.
They're the friendliest people you could meet. I can see why they would, allow other cultures to thrive in their country. It's similar to us, I guess, in a way. But my question is, were you interested in playing rugby? Because I feel like everyone in New Zealand plays rugby, and rugby league is like a byproduct. But soccer, no one really heard of.
No, it's just pretty much. I had a brother. My brother George is 2 years older than me. My dad loved football. He played sort of semi-pro in Greece, as semi-pro as it probably was back then.
Sure. Who did he play for?
Up until I don't think even he knows
Local,
the name. Local.
Yeah.
Before army, and then once he got the army is done. But so he loved football. George was already playing for as long as I could remember growing up, and so I just sort of, without question, just was playing from a very young age. Cousins all played, like I said. Just felt like it was second nature, It's like something I had to do and I loved doing. Did I ever think anything of making a career of it? I don't. My dad would tell you that I told him at 14, that's when I told him I wanted to be a professional footballer.
Yeah, wow.
But before then, I don't think I even thought it was possible or thought about it. I just loved it. I used to watch Premier League highlights on a Monday night with my dad and my brother.
Yes.
It was very
Before
limited.
South Park?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
I know, this is Australia.
Any football content I could get. We used to get sent tapes from Greece from like 98, 99 from Panathinaikos playing. So I've got vivid memories of that. And it's just something that I grew up loving, probably because, my dad loved it and my brother loved it. I wanted to, join in and never once played rugby,
Yeah. See, it's very interesting for me because I'm 2 years older than you, right? The period that you're talking about there is like a watershed period for the All Blacks and New Zealand rugby and whatnot. And that was, I remember watching tests in like 98, 99 and through that period. And it was just, everything was rugby. Was soccer cutting through at all? Football cutting through in New Zealand at all during that period? I mean, because the All Blacks are a bloody religion over there.
Yeah, well, I say it was football, but I remember France 99, the Rugby World Cup, we lost the semi-final to France. So I did have those memories, and we used to get together to watch that sort of stuff too, because, we were proud Kiwis as well. But my first memory of football was France 98 too, the World Cup. My idols came from that tournament, Michael Owen, Brazilian Ronaldo, Zidane. So that was
World Cup.
Those sort of years, like you're referring to, the late 90s, early 2000s, were like peak or like golden years for me, and
100%.
sort of shaped my future in a sense. Yeah.
Wow. I never forget. I think his name was Zinzan Brook. Played for New Zealand.
Yeah.
And he said, New Zealanders have never lost a game in rugby. We just run out of time.
Oh, man. I just remember watching Andrew Mertens lighting up, goals from like 60 metres out and thinking, I want to break this bloke's legs.
Yeah.
As an Australian.
Yeah.
He was so good.
He was good, yeah. John Alomu was a hero too. He
Absolutely.
He had a house on the hill, sort of the same suburb as we grew up in, but on the hill, right on the edge of the cliff. And it was like, we used to drive by it and see it every day. And everyone used to say, that's his house cost $1 million. And I was thinking, whoa,
it must be real.
Yeah. So I did idolize John Alomu just for.
And he's probably the closest thing to like a Michael Jordan or something like that. Yeah. That rugby's ever sort of.
Well, he had his own PlayStation game
exactly
in the mid 90s. So yeah,
that's when you know you made it.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, from New Zealand, and for rugby to cut through like that.
Yeah,
he was a massive icon and idol in New Zealand. Yeah,
I mean, here in Australia, football. Let's call it football. We're not calling it soccer. Football here in Australia always got a bad rap because of its ties to the sort of ethnic community here. You had clubs like Olympic and Apia and Marconi and all that sort of thing, all connected to a specific ethnic background, which, for better or worse, that's how it was.
Yeah.
There was a lot of racism around that. Was there anything like that in New Zealand, or do you think you guys had it better over there?
Probably better, just because we probably didn't have the amount of diversity, I guess. my club growing up was Wellington Olympic, so a Greek club there. Yeah. There were some other ethnic teams like Island Bay, for example, were known as the Italians.
Right.
There was some, but it was never. I don't think it ever got violent or that hostile. It was all in pretty good nature, from what I remember. And it wasn't like I had to play for Olympic. As a junior, I played for Miramar Rangers because my dad or my parents thought that they had the best junior setup. So it wasn't like a blind allegiance to, I need to play. It's what was best for us kids, which probably was the same for everyone. But, growing up and getting to like 9, 10, 11, 12, I wanted to play for Wellington Olympic, because that was where my ties were and my background. But to answer the question, I never felt like there was probably a bit of racism, the undertones there going on. I don't know. I was pretty young, and to be fair, I was separated from it. I played for the seniors at 15, 16 years old for Olympic.
Wow.
But then, you realise a lot of stuff more when you get to, 18, 20, 21.
Just oblivious when you're
when you're a kid, which I was, you're pretty oblivious to it. You're just sort of navigating through life.
What
and
does that mean?
So 15, 16, you were in the senior squad.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So that was your sort of first rep teams, was it? Playing first grade for Olympic?
Yeah, well, long-winded story. At 14, I fractured my lower back. So put me out for about 10 months.
Through football or?
Yeah, just, as you do, nothing, a jump and landed wrong and sort of landed on it. So 10 months, and I was, getting a bit of a reputation. Wellington's a small place. I was playing representative teams. So that put me out. I was working like a animal with the physio. We had one physio I'd be in there nearly every day. Got back fit, and I got invited to play for the Wellington under-20s team, which my brother was in also. So I was about 15 at the time. Wow. Trained with them, trained for a couple of weeks. So they were in pre-season, a few weeks, I can't remember. And the coach of the senior team, Wellington team, which played in the National League, he actually asked me to be on the bench for the senior team of Team Wellington. So this is a level above Wellington Olympic.
So Wellington Phoenix we're talking about.
This is Team Wellington.
Oh, Team Wellington.
Yeah, this is before the Phoenix were even around.
Okay.
This is 2005.
Yep.
So as a 15-year-old, I got asked to play on the bench before I even played for the under-20s. Came on that weekend, came on for about 10, 15 minutes, set up a goal, and never played for the 20s. I played for the seniors from 15. That was a summer league. You'd play Auckland, Waitakere, Christchurch, all the regional teams. It was our equivalent of the A-League. It was semi-pro, but used to get $100 for a win. That was that was the pay. It was pretty good for a 15-year-old. Yeah, it's big money for a 15-year-old. So I played that summer for Team Wellington. Then the Winter League, it backed onto, that's where Olympic played in that competition, which is the Wellington Regional League. It was sort of showed the start of my, I guess, resilience as a person or as a player. I felt like from there, like I said, that 14, 15 mark where I thought, I really want to knuckle down and try do something. And that was sort of the first sign that I could do something.
So, I mean, what does that do for you mentally, being 14, 15 years old and being tapped on the shoulder and saying, hey, we want you to sit on the bench for, in the senior squad, and then all of a sudden you're setting up goals. Do you get a big head at some point? Were you able to manage that?
Going back to what you said, Nick, about Kiwis being nice, there's sort of you don't have any choice but to be like humble and show humility, because you'll get knocked down pretty quick if you don't. Yeah. So probably from sheer intimidation, even wouldn't let me get a big head, And
someone in the team would have belted you, right?
And just how I was brought up, I probably thought I was lucky to just be there as well. Yeah, right. Not because I wasn't good enough, but what opportunity I got. I still have that now. I always think like lucky to play at this level, lucky to do what I've done. So I never take much for granted, and that's probably from my upbringing. I guess I can't really put it to anything else.
Is that advice that you would give to kids like who are given any opportunity? What would you say to them? It's like when you're presented with an opportunity like that, what's the best advice you would give them?
Well, first, take it with both hands. That's the first thing, because you don't know when they come. But also, staying humble. I think it's very different these days now. Kids have social media pages where they're almost showing highlights of themselves, promoting themselves, which is great as long as it's, controlled and contained, and I guess the parents have control of it. But I would say to just sort of absolutely grab it, take it with both hands the best you can, give it your best go, but also don't get too ahead of yourself and always think of the big picture, not just short term.
Fantastic. Yeah, brilliant. Does your brother take credit for some of that, for beating you around when you were younger?
Yeah, absolutely.
Going hard on you in the backyard, because you did 15 playing games. Man, it's a big thing physically.
Yeah, so we've got so George is 2 years older than me. Myself, Dimitri is 3 years younger than me, and then there's Chris, who's about 8 years younger than me. So us four used to play. Chris wasn't that keen on football, but the three of us normally used to play.
Yeah.
And this is George's claim to fame. He says that he made me better because he always used to make it 2 against 1, and I was the one playing against 2. So he thinks that gave me the competitive edge to kick on, because they were both great players too. So it got pretty competitive in the backyard. Yeah,
good. Oh, thanks, bro. Good on you, bro.
yeah.
So I've got here. So Wellington Phoenix came in the competition. Was it
2007?
2007, and you ended up playing as a 17-year-old. So you got contracted with them.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. How did that all come about?
It came about, obviously, the Phoenix coming into the A-League, not as a bit of a surprise, but a bit out of nowhere. The A-League started, I think, in 2005. So there was a couple of years before they were involved. You got wind of the Phoenix coming around, and I was the captain of the New Zealand under-17 side at the time.
Okay. Skip that bit. That's pretty.
Yeah,
that's pretty
significant.
That was probably on the back of playing senior football.
Yeah,
there wasn't. I don't think anyone else doing it at the time. Chris Wood was already in the UK, but playing senior football, I think they sort of saw me as a natural leader. That was going on. The Phoenix came about, and at the time you had to have 3 under-20 players. Now there's all sorts of stuff. You can give players scholarship contracts, youth contracts, youth senior contracts, but at the time then it was just a blanket 3 under-20 players.
Yeah.
So I think just naturally I was, I guess, in their eyes, one of the most promising young players, and they were interested. I had some opportunities.
Was that like a letter in the mail? Like
it was.
Was it a big thing? Did you run home and tell Dad? Say, Dad, guess what?
I can't.
Was it a professional contract? Like
it was a pro contract, but I can't remember the first contact. I think it came through my under-17s coach.
Okay.
From Ricky Herbert, who was the Phoenix coach, and then waited up. I had a few other opportunities, trials or maybe things going on overseas, but decided to sign with the Phoenix. My first contract was $35,000, and I was like, this is amazing,
They're going to pay me to play football.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
I'm going to go by Lomu's house.
Yeah, living at home, I thought I'm living the dream, and came about pretty quick, did the World Cup, came back and started training with the Phoenix, and pretty much, went from there, spent 3 years there from 17 to 20 years old,
Wow.
Yeah.
I think you had a brief stint at MacArthur Rams, but I think we want to get to is, so Brisbane Roar was sort of when you came to Australia proper.
Yeah.
You met Ange for the first time, I guess.
Yeah.
So how was that like? Well, how did it all come about? So were there a couple of clubs after you, when you were at Wellington?
Yeah, so I spent 3 years. Yeah, 3 years in Wellington where I was not really playing. I played maybe 15 games in 3 years, which is not a lot. I was seen as a pretty promising young player and felt like I was being stunted a bit. And I felt like when I did play, I was putting my best foot forward, but as soon as a senior player would be fit again, they'd come straight back in no matter what I did.
Okay. So you couldn't hold a position.
But I was trying to do the right things, and lucky I did, because when my contract was about to expire, I had Brisbane, Newcastle, Jets and Adelaide all interested, which is quite rare for somebody that's not playing much and would be a foreign player in the A-League. You're only allowed 5 foreign spots in each team. So it's quite a big show of, trust and your commitment to be even interested in me. And I just remember my dad had been up to Auckland to watch my brother play the under-17s or under-20s tournament for New Zealand and Australia were there. This is going back maybe a few years before I signed. And Ange was the coach of the young Socceroos at the time. He just said to me, they played some good football. They set up this way. I think you'd be really effective in the sort of system that he plays. And I guess because he was Greek too, he sort of gravitated towards him. Ange, to my dad, probably looked at it like a serious sort of guy that could keep me in line. Not like I was crazy, but just keep me grounded and keep me in line.
Because you're still living at home in Wellington.
Living at home.
It's sort of been your first time living out of home
Yeah,
as well.
correct, yeah.
So your dad obviously played a very influential role in all that then.
There was an agent involved too, but I was going off basically what my dad thought, and the agent deals with, the contract length and the particulars. So I chose Brisbane. I spoke to Ange briefly on the phone. Didn't give me much, just sort of said, looking forward to have you here. I said, I can't wait to get started sort of thing, and just hit the ground running there and sort of cleaned out the team from the year before. He joined halfway through the year before that. Had a pretty clean slate of players and brought in, I guess, younger, but just guys that had something to prove, I think, more. Whether he did that purposely or not, I'm not sure, but brought in myself, who's young and wanted to launch my career. Eric Pardaloo, who was coming from Scotland, sort of, lingering around the lower parts of Scotland, came with, hunger to prove himself. Thomas Broisch came from Germany with a massive pedigree, but never really hit the heights that he should have in his career, I don't think. And we just, got to work. He was, I think, overall, he's probably the best coach that I've worked with.
Wow.
Muskie's very close for me. I worked with Muskie for a little bit longer than I did Ange. But both of them just very clear with what they want their teams to do, with their instructions. What people probably don't realise with football, like with a coach, it's all well and good to say you want a player to do this and that, but they need to understand timings, when to arrive, when a player's got the ball, when you need to meet somebody with pressure, at what time is it on their touch, is it this and that. And like I said, it's easy. I'm going in on a bit of a tangent here, but
No.
This is good stuff.
yeah, so he made it very crystal clear what he wanted from his players. He knew every position to a T, where he wanted you, when he wanted you. And it's not like we were robotic, because when you got the ball, you can express yourself. But he put his players in positions where they were going to be effective, and for yourself, but for the team, where you're going to help the team. And him and like I said, Muskie are probably two guys that if you got dropped or you weren't playing, there wasn't a discussion to be had, because there was no grey areas. You just knew if you weren't playing, you either weren't doing your job or you weren't doing it to his liking.
Are you surprised by what he's been able to achieve since then, given your experience with him?
Not surprised, but did I think he would go on to do, you know what I mean? It's like a surprise, but not surprised, because I know how hard he's worked. But just for somebody from where we come from to achieve what he's achieved is something you'd never sort of imagine. Yeah. And I think it's credit to him as well that he wouldn't have been, I don't think once would have been overawed with the situation or the position that he was in. Yeah. I think he just, like I said before about taking things with both hands, I think he would have been ready for everything, knowing him. In Brisbane, for example, he was living with his best mate, Paul Trimboli, who's obviously a South Melbourne legend. And we asked Trimmers, what's Ange like at home? Because he's pretty hard, pretty tough at training. And Trimmers said, I don't see him. He goes, I have dinner with him once a week, because he's always watching football, always analysing. So, to say I'm surprised, I would say yes, but not in a way that disservices him, just because I don't think people comprehend what he's actually achieved. Winning a Europa League title is massive. So I have so much respect for him and what he's done. and I am surprised, but I'm not surprised. I'll put it that way. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is it a sense of pride, maybe? Like, man, my manager at Brisbane fucking coached Tottenham.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Very proud of him. Yeah.
Because he did come in at a controversial time through his career. I think Brisbane was his sort of second chance at coaching, because I think, was it Craig Foster?
Yeah.
There was an incident on Fox Sports where Craig Foster went to town on him, and he lost a lot of. I think he ended up coaching some second division team in Greece, some Italian local division in Melbourne. But this was his sort of first big chance back at the mainstream.
Yeah.
Cycle. Did you notice any pressure at that time, Ange? Or
so I think that whole thing, without speaking from, because they never spoke about it. I think that was about the young Socceroos or something like that, not doing well or not
or making.
I don't know. Yeah. But you even saw then how sure he was of himself. If you watched that interview, he didn't back down to anyone. He was pretty sure of his method and his process, and over time has been proven right. Was Brisbane a last chance for him? I don't know. Again, I would never ask him that because if I saw him today, I'd still be a bit intimidated by him.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, just because of the respect I have for him.
Legend.
But I don't think. I still think that if Brisbane didn't work out, he would have found a way. I think he's that kind of guy and that driven that he would have done something.
Yeah, brilliant.
Wow.
Because you said earlier he gives you exact, precise information, so you knew exactly what to do on the field. Part of me thinks that's refreshing. I don't have to think. Fuck, I know what to do. Here's the player. I know how close I need to get to him, or my touches and so forth. Yeah. Did he give you, you might have touched on it, but did he give you any flexibility or freedom, or did you have to do exactly what he said, even though it didn't feel comfortable for you to do?
Yeah, he gave you flexibility within the structure. So
give us an example, maybe.
Yeah, so, okay, I'll give you one example of when he actually taught me a lesson by a bit of a tough love. So for one game against Perth, he wanted me to be more inside because I was playing as a winger. But like I said, in our formation, when we're deep, I might have been outside, and when we're starting to build up, I come inside and the fullback goes high just to create space and get in the pocket. He wanted me to do that more against Perth. He saw something in their team to help the team be more effective. He thought at half-time that I was far too wide all the time, even though our goal came from me coming inside and playing someone. He still wasn't happy. It was about halfway through the season. Came in, we're winning 1-0. Comes in fuming, shouting at everyone, saying, blah, 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 this and that. And he goes, and we've got Kosta standing out right on the wing with the Fairies, not coming inside. He's scored 6 goals so far this year. He thinks he's a great player. Blah, blah. So I just knew then, okay, I need to come inside. But, where the genius is that other managers might have taken you off, if he was that unhappy, or given you 5-10 minutes and hooked you so you've been wrong. I straight away thought, let me just maybe over-exaggerate what he wants and, be myself within that. And kept me on the whole game. We won the game, and after he gave me a big hug. Oh. So it's a bit of man management as well that goes into it, where you need to know your players.
Yeah.
Management's very tricky. You say the wrong thing once in a meeting or to a player, you might lose one player or a group of 3 or 4 players for a week or two, just by one thing you say.
Yep.
So
that's brilliant.
Yeah, it's very tough. I don't envy it sometimes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Ange having a go at you. Have there any been massive blow-ups that you can share with us at half-time? Possibly.
Well, that was one. I think you've seen the famous one where he's smashing the whiteboard at halftime. That was in Brisbane as well. Another time where he sort of wasn't happy with me. We were playing, I can't remember who, against Melbourne Heart, I think, at the time. Again, winning 1-0. Quite a tight game, but we had quite good control of it. We had a good passage of play. I played a 1-2 with somebody on the edge of the box, and I hadn't scored for a few weeks, 3-4 weeks, and I was through on goal.
Yep.
but then my teammate was there to just, square it 3 meters, and he's got a tap in. I shot and hit the goalkeeper. He hooked me. He took me straight off. We won again, but would have been if I'd done that and we'd drawn or lost, it would have been even worse. But we won.
Yeah.
Anyway, during the week, making mistakes as everyone does, but he's hammering me for every mistake and saying, "That's why you're not fucking in the New Zealand national team, this and that, blah, blah, blah." And I was thinking, Jesus. Anyway, we got into a huddle at training, and he starts talking about going from being a good team to a great team, and then he said, "That's why, we have this passage of play, and then instead of being a good team and maybe you scoring from there, you square it and we score a tap in and we look like a great team because it's a great team goal." And then he turns to me and he said, "That's why I've been fucking hammering you all week, because that's the difference from being a good team and a great team." So I got the message, but then from there it was done, and then I played the next week. He didn't hold a grudge. He just wanted me to, realise and do the right thing for the team,
Wow. Because I did read a story just on that, the assist. I think I read it. I don't know if it's true or not. You got the most goal assists in the A-League now. Is that true?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's true, yeah.
So thanks to Ange.
Thanks to Ange for probably passing when I should shoot sometimes.
Yeah. But what does it take for someone, like, it's very easy to be yelled at, in a situation like that, and for you to sort of go into your shell.
Yeah.
What's going through your head at that point and saying, well, is it that push-pull between I've just got to take this as constructive criticism, or how hard is it to not take it the way it's supposed to be taken?
Like I said before, I don't think I have much of an ego. I do a little bit, but like every player should. But I just wanted to prove him right or wrong, depending on how you look at it. I wanted to show him that I could do what he wanted, because at the end of the day, I wanted to be in the team. We were flying, and to be part of that team, I wanted to do everything right so I can stay involved. I knew I was in a really good situation with the best coach in the league, and we were, like I said, a bunch of almost nobodies coming into the season, turned into one of the best ever A-League teams because of one guy. He transformed the whole league, really. And I knew...
Wow, the whole league.
Yeah.
Huge rap.
Yeah. I knew what was the alternative. I, give him the finger and say, I'm not doing that, then I would be nowhere near where I am today.
Yeah.
So from a bit of humility and a bit of proving him right or wrong, depending on how you look at it. Yeah.
That's brilliant. So you ended up winning your first championship here at Brisbane. So that was, I guess, a massive moment for you and the team.
Yeah, I thought football would be easy from there, but I thought we'd win this every year.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, just because of the way we did it, we lost in round 3 against Victory, and then we didn't lose again the whole year. So we went 30 games unbeaten.
Wow.
I'd finish games, we'd have 60, 70% possession. The teams we play would be, dead because we'd be playing at Suncorp and humidity and heat. We'd go off games barely celebrating because it was just like business as usual. Yeah. Done next week,
There you go. So you're on a massive high, win the championship. How the hell do you end up in Alania Vladikavkaz?
Yeah.
Which is, for people out there, it's Chechnya in Russia.
Yeah.
So which is very diverse.
Close to the
community.
border of Georgia,
Yeah, and it's a majority Muslim population.
Yeah.
So what was that experience like? And how did you get up there? Like, what, your manager said, "Hey, I got a good deal for you."
Yeah. So I obviously come off the back of winning the championship, scoring 12 goals as a freshly turned 21-year-old. Some of the boys in the league now achieving those sort of things, they're getting moves to, Bundesliga, Premier League, stuff like that. And not that I expected something like that to happen, but I was, thinking I'm going to get a decent move, waiting, and a lot of it's, with management, with the agent, what he can do for you. Came to me and said, Russia, and I wasn't on my mind at all.
That wasn't on the bingo card.
No, at all, yeah. But the way he sold it to me was that they had won the Cup the year before, the top of the league. and they've got Europa League qualifiers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I thought, good opportunity.
See part of the world.
Kickstart my, European journey in football. Spoke with Ange again. He thought I'd be better off doing another year with him in Brisbane. Looking back, probably would have been a good decision. Not that I regret it, but decided to do it. Took the leap. It was a big shock. Like you said, a very different sort of diverse culture and lifestyle. Coming from Brisbane to Vladikavkaz is a very different proposition. But, I learned a lot about myself. First game I played, scored the winner against the team below us. I thought, great start here. Second game, we're playing the third place team. 0-0 at half-time. I get hooked at half-time. I get taken off. So you experience the ups and downs within a week of each other in football. So I thought, I'm in for a bit of a battle here. The coach was a 32, 33-year-old who was the son of the chairman of the club.
Yeah.
Just a lot of stuff going on.
Say no more.
Getting paid bonuses in cash. In
rubles.
Yeah, in the coach's office with the accountant would line up outside the coach's office. She'd look at your name. She'd have like pallets of cash.
Whoa.
And use the money counter, give you your bonus in cash. Yeah, just
crazy.
You're so used to things being like so structured and down the line here to seeing that sort of stuff as a 21-year-old.
Yeah, really massive experience.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just we for some reason got paid our monthly salary in cash one month. Usually it's just bank deposit.
Yeah.
But the thing was, we were staying in the training base on the Friday all the way through the weekend. We used to stay for two nights before the game. We were playing on the Sunday. So I've got a month's worth of wages
Sitting
in my
sports bag.
Yeah, in my dorm. It was pretty much dormitories,
Yeah.
I'm thinking one of the young guys can just come in and take my salary. So I'm hiding it under mattresses on top of things until I could go to the bank on Monday.
Wow.
Just stuff like that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Playing in -8 degrees. We played in November. And there's a game we used to go on winter break. November, December was completely off because it was too cold. But we played one game, -8 degrees. I trained the day before with normal football boots, and it was like you're on ice skates. And the boys told me, no, you need to wear like indoor turf shoes because they grip better with the snow.
Right.
I had to go to the shop and buy indoor turf shoes to play a game of football.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
How was that?
Yeah.
And you have to wear like gloves, neck
warmers. They used to rub alcohol solution on your toes. Yeah,
They make you drink vodka.
Nah, they
Half-time
do.
drink?
It's different culture. Every day off, it was a small place, but I'd see there's 4 or 5 nice restaurants there.
Yeah.
Every day off, I'd 100% see one of my teammates like stumbling in the restaurant there. So that's why the days off were few and far between. I think they knew the culture there was with a bit of rest, the players wouldn't respect it. So just from the culture, I think it doesn't mix well with being a professional footballer. Yeah.
Well, that would have been massive life experience for you. You learned so much. And a young 21-year-old, you only moved out of home to
a year
Brisbane.
before that.
And all of a sudden you're
Crazy.
in Chechen territory.
Yeah.
So from there, I understand you finally made your way back to Greece after all these years to Panathinaikos.
Yeah. So
how was that all about? How did that come about?
So I finished the year in Russia. I played probably half the games in and out of the team. Like I said, getting taken off at halftime, coming on at halftime. It's pretty frustrated.
Yeah.
We did well. We got promoted, but we had the best team. So I didn't feel like it was like not that it wasn't a massive achievement, but didn't feel that fulfilled. And it was pretty clear I wasn't that much part of the plans, and I didn't really want to be honest. Went away with the national team in the June window, and I got a call from my agent saying, and I can't remember the team in Cyprus, but there was a team in Cyprus that wanted to take me on loan. I said yes. I didn't even said yes straight away. He said, okay, I'll negotiate and get the stuff to you tomorrow or the next day. he called me the next day and I said, how's everything going? He said, I thought you might want to hear this. Panathinaikos interested in you. I said, forget Cyprus. I'm going to Panathinaikos.
Yeah.
Again, like I said before, remembering the tapes I used to watch as a kid. It's a club I grew up supporting. So it was like a dream move, and that was a very easy decision for me. I think for them, because I had a Greek passport, that probably helped. I think you have a certain amount of foreigners you can have in the Greek league. I don't know the exact numbers, but it helped. Got there and I had an amazing time. I arrived and I knew, this is when I knew it was a massive club. Arrived at the airport, got to the hotel, and the phone was ringing in the hotel room. Picked it up and it was a journalist and wanted to do an interview. I said, oh, no, blah, 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 hung up.
Yeah.
Got another call again from another journalist. Well, again, another call. It was the front desk reception saying, I know you're getting calls from, journalists. He said, do you want me to disconnect your phone? I said, yes, please. And, I'm just really a nobody coming from Russia, but a Kiwi coming to play. But because it's Panathinaikos, everything's a big deal. There's so much attention and interest in what's going on. I guess it is interesting for them, a Greek Kiwi coming to play for the club, but I never thought that it would get that sort of attention or that I was that sort of important, I guess, or worth going to those lengths to speak to,
I mean, it's mental there. Everyone knows. I mean, between soccer and basketball, football and basketball rather, in Greece. Yeah. That's the religion. I mean, Panathinaikos at that point, was Karaguni there at the time?
Karaguni just left. He went to Fulham. He was playing in Fulham.
Right.
I got to meet him.
Really?
Yeah, we played in London. We played against Tottenham and he came to watch the game, being Fulham's in London. Saiteridis was there.
Yeah, right.
Katsouranis was still there. We had a couple of other national team players. Spiropoulos is a left back. He wasn't involved in Euro 2004, but Luka Vintra, they were still at the club.
Yeah. So you got to play with that vintage of players.
Yeah, we had some big hitters. Boum Song was a French defender who came from Newcastle in the Premier League. We had some pretty big hitters. So again, it was a bit of a shock to me at first. And to be honest, thinking back now, I didn't think at the time I knew quite what situation I was in until it was a bit late, So I felt probably I was a bit overwhelmed by the whole situation. I feel like overall I did quite well there. We changed managers 4 times in the year.
That doesn't sound like a Greek club.
Yeah.
4 times.
4 times, and twice it happened while I was away with the national team. Jesus. So obviously when you go with the national team, it's a break, so there's no games.
Yeah.
I would come back and find out once I landed that the coach was sacked.
Yeah.
It happened twice.
Wow.
So first we had a Portuguese coach, got sacked. A Spanish coach came in, then an Argentinian, and then the last coach was a local Greek coach who took a liking to me, really liked my attitude, I guess how I played. I was in and out with the other coaches, but with this coach, I played every game, basically. The last, I don't know how many, 10 games. Yeah. And I was on loan from my Russian club. So at the end of the loan, you usually go back to your parent club. Mm-hmm. But Panathinaikos wanted me to stay on. And I obviously was more than happy to. They said they were going through some financial troubles at the time. They asked me if I would drop my wages by 25%. I said yes straight away. I would have dropped them 50% to stay. But still, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, it still wasn't enough. The Russian club wanted a transfer fee of, I can't remember, 150,000 euros. Yeah. And these guys asked me to drop my wages. They're not going to pay a transfer fee. So I was actually in Athens waiting for 10 weeks to try find a solution or a way to make it happen. And just couldn't happen. And then, reunited with Ange again in Melbourne. But, in between, there's a lot of stuff in between.
Well, one big question. Yeah. So I understand you played in a derby. So Olympiacos, Panathinaikos. So maybe just
Did they burn the stadium down?
I've got a mad
Because
story with
obviously
that.
you
Yeah.
came out alive. But,
Yeah, just.
So
Yeah.
what happened there?
So we played at the Karaiskaki. So at the time, I'm not sure if it's still like that now, but there's no away fans allowed in those games. So it's just Olympiacos fans. And at our ground, there's only Panathinaikos fans. And like I said, this was when the Greek coach was in charge. So I started the game. We got to the stadium. And we arrive in, a massive green bus. So they know it's us.
The target.
Yeah. It might as well be a bullseye.
Bull fans.
Yeah. So you get there. The change room entry is probably 10 meters away from where the bus stops. But the problem is the walkway for the fans to get into the gates is above where the bus stops. And there's a gap probably like that big running all the way down where they can see down. So they've seen we've arrived. I was luckily one of the first off the bus. There's a door in the middle of the bus and there's one at the front off the middle, nearly at the entry to the change rooms. I just hear a massive bang, like a explosion. They dropped a flashbang grenade outside our bus. And I was, like I said, maybe 5-10 meters away. And I was deaf for about 10 minutes.
You're kidding?
Whoa.
Yeah, there was guys that were a metre or two away. They couldn't hear for pretty much until we got for a warm-up, 25, 30 minutes. They couldn't hear anything.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So it's like a firecracker. That
It's
made
like a just white noise. Yeah, you hear the sound of like the
cops use
explosion.
them. Like the...
Yeah.
it's like a
To
military.
disorientate,
right.
people, not acting right.
Wow.
So just like ringing, like white noise sort of.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So
the
that was
riot-
your introduction.
That was my introduction to the derby.
Yeah, the riot police use that stuff,
Yeah.
during riots and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry, go on.
No, and
So you got in.
got
What was
in,
that? Bloody hell.
disorientated, get out, warm up, and then before kickoff.
Did you all shit yourself? And fuck, what are we in for?
Yeah, some of them might have been used to it. The
Yeah.
locals, I don't know. I didn't really. I was just gathering my thoughts. I don't remember speaking to anyone about it.
Was there that one guy in the team that's just like, fuck them,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
nothing.
Oh, the few of the Greeks,
Yeah.
probably urged them on more.
Yeah.
It did to me too, but I was a bit like, what the fuck?
What
What's
is
going
this?
on?
Yeah.
And then I
We're
remember
far from New Zealand now.
Yeah. And there's a picture of this, but I remember doing the handshakes before the game. They lit off, I don't know, 50 to 100 flares.
Yeah. Oh.
I have seen a photo of it, of me in the lineups, and we delayed kickoff because you couldn't see anything in the ground. So
Yeah.
Wow.
just crazy. Then we're getting, I think there's a derogatory meaning to this, but we're getting like little carrot slices thrown at us at the game.
what would that mean?
I don't know. Even if I didn't know, I don't know if it would probably be appropriate to say.
Yeah,
but anyway, had a good game. The game finished 1-1. I had a great chance to score. We had a couple of really good chances, but we drew the first game, which I didn't play, and we drew the second one. Olympiacos was probably by far the better team at the time. They won the league. So to get a draw against them in their home ground was, probably one of my better memories as a football player. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah.
I mean, I've experienced a little bit of that as a fan over there, but in Thessaloniki with PAOK.
Oh, yeah.
And man, they burn that joint down with the flares.
Artists are
Oh my
pretty
God.
into it too.
Yeah, it's mental.
Yeah.
So who would be the worst fan base in Greece? do you think?
PAOK.
Yeah, Balg, I think artists are up there too. The worst, I mean, they get into it the most. I've heard artists, their fans fill up, plastic water bottles with piss.
Oh, wow.
And throw them
See,
onto
that's
the
where
field.
I thought that story was going before
Yeah,
when you got
yeah.
off the bus.
Nah.
Like they're just standing over
I would have
the top of
taken
this-
that probably. the tick, the
over the flashbang.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, we had tear gas as well in another game.
Oh, what?
It was our own fans. Yeah, we were, I think, losing or drawing. Tear gas in the middle of the stadium, and you just start, tearing up.
Really?
Like eyes stinging, tearing up. Yeah.
And
so.
game called off or?
Did they
postponed at
call it
least?
off? We kept going, and then the fans started getting a bit worse. And with about 5-10 minutes to go, they called it off. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So some crazy experiences.
So
yeah.
what was it like? Where did you live, by the way? Nothing.
I lived in Glifada.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Great place.
just going off recommendations of
Yeah.
people I knew. Yeah,
Well done. There's heaps of my cousins are there. Actually, I was there 4 weeks ago.
Great place.
So, what was it like during the day? Like, did fans bump into you? They recognise you? Was it all tame during the day, or?
It was a pretty full on. Not towards me particularly, but one of my teammates, Zaka, went on to be the captain. Portuguese guy, and he went on to play for the Greek national team, funny enough.
Sure.
Spoke the language, was at the club for a long time. People like that, me a little bit, but for him, if we lost the game, he'd be in a restaurant and fans would walk past and abuse him
Shit.
with his family, wife and kids there,
Wow.
So it was, pretty life or death for these people, and fair enough. Another story, actually, we had a couple times in the season, we went through a period where we lost back-to-back games, which is like unacceptable. So we're training one day, and the Ultras stormed our training, about 50, maybe 100 to
So maybe
200
just
of them.
describe ultras for our listeners.
It's the
fanatics of the
it's
fanatics.
the fanatics of the club. Yeah, they're the ones that drive the fan base.
But do they have political connections? Because I understand, was it Juventus I read? They got so much of an influence and could control team players and stuff like that?
In terms of political influence, I'm not sure, and I sort of I try not to even know about it.
Yeah.
To be honest, most of the time I'd rather be ignorant with that stuff,
Yeah,
because it sort of not sours anything for
not
me,
your
but
role
I
anyway.
just don't want. Yeah, I want them
to
to be
play
passionate to watch football. Anyway, they storm training. We have to stop training because they're just, again, probably more than 100 of them on the field. Got us all in the huddle, made us go in the huddle, and made like Katsurani's boom song. The older guys started to just all explain themselves, basically why we're performing the way we're performing. That happened once. Then the second time, they came again, and we're all getting paid 3-4 months late at the club. And that was, like I said, I was happy to do it. Everyone just wanted to play for the club for the most part. There was some, sticky situations, but they stormed the ground again, huddle. The Ultras, they're saying, we make €300 a month. We spend 250 of it on you guys to watch you fuckwards play and play like that. It's not good enough. And, they got a point. That's their life, Starts arcing up. The leader of the Ultras says, you're the only one that's getting paid on time, and you're the one that's arcing up. And I think got embarrassed with that.
Okay.
Wow.
It's not information, that everyone knew. Not that I cared anyway. I don't know how the others played.
It was just the heat of the moment. He was pissed off, I guess.
And even if it's true, I don't know if it's true. That's what the Ultras believe, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But that triggered them, and they got into it, And two massive guys, not handbags, but it was pushing, and then a few other people got involved and like grabbing each other.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, it's next level over there, because the other side of that, and there's always the conspiracy theories around it, like, where the fans of another team will, invade the pitch basically to make sure that for the next game, it's either played behind closed doors, or there's there's huge fines put in place and all that sort of stuff. I mean, that's how Greek football unfortunately can be.
Yeah. Look, as far as a derby goes, because you've played we'll talk about your Sydney FC venture, and you played against the Wanderers.
Yeah.
How would that compare to Olympiacos and Panathinaikos?
I'm more looking forward to it this year, to be honest, because when I was at Sydney, it was through COVID. So we were playing at Cogra or at Leichhardt.
Yeah.
And even there, the Wanderers' home games, they were a bit limited to who they could bring. I think it was not at capacity. Mm-hmm. But obviously still an amazing atmosphere. But I think this year I'll see the real Sydney derby, whether it's obviously at Combank, which they've got the place rocking again, which I'm really excited about. But even Sydney being back at Allianz, it's been finished for the last year or two.
Yeah.
they've created quite a good atmosphere too.
That's a really impressive stadium.
Yeah. And I never got to play in it as a Sydney player. So, something I was pretty disappointed with.
It's like a quadruple.
Which is, it's cool. It's nice. It gives it sort of regional feel, but for the big games, like I said, with the derbies or the big Blues against Victory, you want to be in a stadium, and get a lot of people there.
Yeah.
So the crowd does make a difference, does it?
Yeah.
When you're on the field, then the more they cheer, it pumps you up and all that sort of stuff. So it does make a big difference.
It does, yeah. And look, if I win in front of 500 people or 20,000, it still feels as good. But the minute to minute of those 90 minutes feels much better with a full stadium or thousands of people there, as opposed to at times being at the local grounds. It can feel a little bit not dull, but a bit like not a friendly game, but you're sort of not in a
probably the
proper
energy,
game.
The electricity, the vibe,
because it's all open as well. In a stadium, it's all closed off. The sonics, probably the acoustics, amplifies it.
I'm a St George Dragons fan. That's our home ground.
Yeah,
and it's no atmosphere.
Yeah.
Even there was like 13,000, whatever it was, against the Roosters when I was there last. There was nothing. No atmosphere.
We got some good crowds like that too. But I know what you mean, 100%.
But Sydney, I've been to a derby, Wanderers, Sydney FC with my son. My God, mate, I'm getting goosebumps now thinking about it in the crowd.
Yeah. So that's the one on the calendar I'm looking forward to the most. Yeah.
I went to the Victory Sydney FC game earlier this year, and it was mayhem.
Yeah.
Both sets of fans, mental.
Yeah.
Like, the singing was out. Yeah, singing was outstanding.
This will be big.
And this is my point. The Wanderers, that's going to be next level.
We spent half the time looking at the crowd. Oh, look at them, Sydney FC, because we're right in the middle.
Yeah.
And what the Wanderers do this thing where, maybe explain it to our listeners, where I think the 80th minute mark, they sort of lock arms and
Poznan, it's called.
And their back faces the stadium.
Yeah.
Maybe what's the background with that?
It's a
it looks
tradition.
like a Zembeki, like a Greek
or they lock arms, face the other way, and start, rocking.
Yep.
I don't know where the origins of it come from. I don't think it's exclusive to Australia or Wanderers.
Okay,
I think it's been done, but they're the ones that have brought it here, like the Phoenix, the Yellow Fever. If we were winning at the 80th minute, the shirts come off.
Oh, right.
And they swing the shirts. That's the Wanderers version of that, or vice versa. And it's just a tradition, something that gets the fans going. Like I said, people like yourselves, you come to a game every so often. It's like, whoa, look at this atmosphere. It's pretty spectacular to see. It's all coordinated.
It's interesting for us as well, I think, because we're generally rugby league people. We go to a lot of rugby league games. Although, interestingly enough, I've been to more A-League games this year than South games. I mean, I have to say the atmosphere at the A-League games is better.
I was going to say
by
exactly
a long
the same
way.
thing.
Yeah,
I saw Sydney FC at Wollongong. You guys, Sydney FC played at Wollongong one couple of years, whenever it was, and I've just seen the St George games there, mate. It was like times 10 the atmosphere.
I think it's just because there's the culture of the chanting and the things like that with football. Even with AFL. I've been to games with 100,000 people, 90,000 people, whatever. And the only time there's noise is when there's somebody gets crunched or there's a good kick or mark. So it's just a different culture. It's still really cool atmospheres both, but just very different. Very different.
But the thing is with soccer, there's not much scoring or that sort of stuff, but they cheer more often. Like at least league, if there's a try, they cheer. AFL goal. There's not many goals, but the whole time they're singing. Cheering.
It's pretty impressive.
But with the Western Wanderers, what do you call them, Poznan? Yeah. I was watching a game and they're doing that thing, and the Wanderers scored, so they missed the goal.
But the fans probably think that that's a good omen. That they probably encourage them to do it more.
Let's do it more.
But what they sort of watched it because I could see the screen. They're facing the screen, and then you see half of them turning around and carrying on. It's funny.
Well, let's talk about the move to Western Sydney now. At the time of recording, you've just played your first game for them last night, in fact. So what was that first game like, officially in red and black?
Felt very comfortable straight away, to be honest. I think that's probably down to my experience, maybe it can be quite daunting going to a new club, but it all goes back to a month or so ago when I knew I was coming to the Wanderers. Me and my wife sacrificed our holiday. I came straight from the national team in Canada to Sydney to look for a place to live, while my wife was packing up our house in Wellington, just to make the transition easier. Otherwise, I'd probably be now looking at a place to live, living out of a hotel or a whatever
Airbnb,
temporary accommodation. You know, we've got kids to worry about. You know, my oldest daughter's in school already now, so that's all sorted. And I think that's what's helped with the transition. So after sort of taking my hat off to my wife, she was packing with the two kids as well. I came here for a week to look for a place, came back, started with the packing. So I think all that stuff helps even mentally with the transition, knowing we just came straight into our where we're going to be living right away when we're not on the back foot, you know. We're in a not new because we lived in Sydney before, but a new place. But we're pretty much almost settled as much as you can. We've still got like furniture coming in day to day for the first week or two. But you've got a base, you know. Like I said, for me with football, I'm pretty comfortable with where I'm at as a player. You know, I know my strengths and weaknesses, and I sort of just play towards and play on those things. You got to just earn the respect of your teammates as soon as possible. I just knuckled down and worked hard. It's been a pretty smooth transition so far. It's a game that we played NPL opposition from Brisbane, Peninsula Power last night. And we spoke a little bit off air, but it's like a banana peel, you know, banana skin game for us, because if you win, it's by how much, you know. You only won by 3-0. Maybe some people could say, if you lose, how could you lose that game? So I think we managed the game well, and pretty happy with the debut. And I think there'll be more to come from there.
Well, 32nd minute goal from yourself, so obviously that's a pretty good start for you. But you know, the Western Sydney Wanderers site today published the headline "Promising Signs" in inverted commas, and attributed it to you and Kraev. So I mean, is it a good indication of how you guys are going to go? Do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, even on paper, and let's be clear, football's not one on paper. We have a good group. We have a good mix of experience, like myself, and a good mix of young guys. The club lost a couple of really exciting young players last year, but that always happens in the A-League. You lose one or two or three or four, and you gain 2 or 3 or 4.
So they ended up in the Scottish League, I saw.
The two attacking boys did,
Is there a connection there? Harry Kuehl or someone like
I'm
that?
not sure what the connection is, and I don't know the guys personally, but they had really good years, and I think for them it's just get to Europe, get your foot in the door, and then the ceiling's obviously a lot higher, you know, Scotland, whatever people think of the Scottish League. If you have a good year, I think their thinking is you have a good year there, and then the ceiling's much higher, you know. So I can't talk to what their experience are, but they did really well. My point is the team went on a roll of 12 unbeaten before they lost in the finals. Yeah, and that's what I alluded to before. Is the RBB is rocking again. Combank is, everyone's behind the Wanderers again. Yeah, and it was basically a football decision for me to come back here. I looked at the way the team played, 2 strikers, attacking football. I think they scored the most goals in the comp last year, or close to it.
Biggest crowds.
Biggest crowds. And a coach that I really liked, that when I saw there was interest there, it was him calling me and messaging me, where that's not always the case, but just for the coach to show interest is gives you a bit of confidence, and then knows that the interest is genuine. So I've had nothing but really good, promising signs so far, and I know it can just get better.
Fantastic.
I mean, how excited are you for this season?
I'm really excited because it's a big year for me as well. We've got the World Cup next year, so that's why I said it was purely a football decision to come here. I need to have a good year. Even though I've helped the team qualify for the World Cup, nobody's bolted on to get into that squad. You need to be performing. I guess unless you're probably Chris Wood, I think he's a pretty safe bet to go to the World Cup. But I want to.
So you're definitely in the squad now for New Zealand?
Well, no, not definitely. The squad's named. We've got a few windows before that, and then the squad's named probably in May of next year.
Okay, because you're a bit unlucky. Was it 2010?
Yeah.
I think everyone's saying you're in. On paper, you're in, but you didn't get announced.
Oh, that was a sour moment in my career. Yeah, that was. I've spoken a little bit about it before, but it was because I was leaving the Phoenix, and Ricky Herb was the coach of the national team the Phoenix.
Okay.
And he wanted me to re-sign with the Phoenix. And like I said to you guys, didn't see a future for me. I had been there 3 years playing sparingly.
Yeah.
And pretty much told me that I've made my bed by moving sort of thing.
Wow. So it's a personal thing rather than a talent thing.
Well, like I said before, to be fair to him, whether I deserved to go or not, I probably did just going off the squad at the time.
Yeah.
But whether I did or not, that's not up for me to say. But for him to say that sort of tells me it was a personal thing.
Yeah.
But the move to Brisbane launched my career. So if would I've taken going to the World Cup and then staying at the Phoenix at the time for 2 more years, and then my career maybe petering out, I'd rather do what I've done now, you know?
So this could really be the high point, really.
Yeah.
So your best football is still ahead of you
nearly 20 years later, yeah. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
So 35, you still got a couple of years left.
Yeah.
So you got no plans of hanging up the boots?
I just feel like because I'm trying really hard to look after myself, it would just be a real shame to stop early or what I feel like is early. But I don't want to go until, people running over me or I feel like I'm a hindrance, which I don't feel at the moment. I think I'm more than keeping up with all the young guys. I know my way around the pitch. I think people see value in my experience maybe in the changing room as well as on the field. So I don't want to put a limit to my playing career. I want to see how much I can go, and because you're a long way retired, right, from football.
Yeah. I can tell you, I watch the over 30s at Sans Souci every week. Mate, you're a far cry from those blokes, let me tell you. They won't mind me saying that either.
Because I don't know if you mentioned it on air or off air, but you're pretty close to having the most games for A-League. I think you're about 350, you're saying, and the record's 385. So you're 1.5 seasons off.
Yeah.
So it'd be great. It'd be good for the Wanderers. Yeah. It'd be good. Any club that gets you, that'd be a massive feat.
Yeah. So, 25, 26 games this year, plus hopefully with finals.
Yeah.
And then, again, I'm going sort of year by year now. Not by choice. I wouldn't, I would back myself to play for a few more years, but I understand with my age, I'm a bit more of a maybe risk for some people. Some clubs, until I think they probably see my application and touch wood, if I still hell while I'm holding up.
So I reckon, how would so look for you? Probably be good if you got another year somewhere else. How would your poor wife feel if you have to move again?
Don't answer that question.
It's tough because you try to plan as best as you can.
Yeah.
Because initially I thought, we had kids at a good time. I was 29 when we had my first.
Nice.
And I thought, 5-6 more years, and then once Lola's starting school, I'd be sort of finishing, and we'd most probably be in Melbourne. We'd plan to.
Yeah.
And she would start school not having to move. Now I'm 35, still going pretty strong.
Yeah.
Starting school in Wellington, moving to Sydney. And a 1-year deal. You don't know what's around the corner.
Yeah. No,
I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to say anything after that.
Yeah. Speaking of being in trouble, we're probably going to get in trouble from all the Melbournians because we're virtually cut out his
I know
victory career. So, look, maybe we'll just quickly touch on it. So, after Panathinaikos, Ange reached out to you again. And so, you never went back to Russia?
No.
So, what, Victory paid the transfer fee, did they? Or?
They did in the end, which is a very rare instance. I think it's only happened one other time with Carlos Hernandez, which Victory did that also.
Yeah.
I wasn't privy to any of that sort of stuff, but I'm pretty sure that happened because otherwise I wouldn't have been getting out of my contract in Russia. But at the same time, they didn't really want me to report back for pre-season. I didn't want to go back at all. my heart was set on, staying in Greece. Then obviously Ange called. Here's the situation. We want to offer you a 3-year deal. This is the contract. It was, a hell of a lot less than what I was earning. And I sort of made a mention to that. And then Ange just said, don't think about the money, blah, blah, blah. This is whatever, which I sort of, anyway, but, you need to negotiate a bit. Did it without too much convincing. It was one phone call again. Moved to Melbourne.
Yeah. You fell in love with Melbourne by the sounds of things?
Fell in love with Melbourne straight away, yeah. Just felt a strong connection to, I guess, the Greek community as well.
Yeah.
That's through a friend of both of ours, through George Barbarouses as well, helped with that.
Yeah.
He was number one ticket holder at the club, which is pretty much the face of the club in the supporter sense. And we had a team function at one of his restaurants at the time. And I don't know, I think, again, it's just the Greek connection. He took a liking to me. I'm not the most, outgoing guy to people I just meet, but he gravitated towards me, I think, just to put me under his wing a little bit. Knew I was there by myself again. And from there, we'd see each other. If I say 3-4 times a week, I wouldn't be exaggerating.
Wow.
Yeah, for 3 years. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Quick question on Ange. So the Ange in Brisbane and the Ange in Melbourne, did you notice a difference? Was it a better Ange, consistent?
He was a little bit different towards me because I was a couple years older. At Brisbane, I reckon I had 2 conversations with him.
So he'd already broken you and rebuilt you.
Yeah, well,
so to speak.
It's a respect thing as well. I understand I don't really have anything to talk to him about it outside of the football pitch. He'd talk to me at training or in the games, or talk at me, what he wanted from me.
Yeah.
And then 1 or 2 games, I actually remember in Brisbane, and my dad told me this years later, my dad came to Brisbane to watch a game. I scored a couple of goals. And we had an after function, and my dad got to talking to Ange for the first time, and Ange said, I think Kostas is a great player with great potential. He said, but I'll never tell him that. Yeah. And my dad told me that years later.
Yeah.
So I think he always, as I knew, wanted the best for me, but didn't want to tell me explicitly, which I much prefer, because if I think I knew that he thought that of me, I probably would have not take my foot off the gas a bit, but because sort of pleasing Ange was like a reward in itself. He made it that way because of the standards and the respect he commanded of himself. So if I knew that, I would have probably let up a little bit. I don't know, but
complacency might have set in, as they say.
I feel like because I was 23, 24 when I went to Melbourne, probably saw me as a bit more of a man, maybe. Spoke to me a little bit differently, but pretty similar, driven. He wasn't overly talkative to the playing group, probably not even the staff either, just what was necessary, and very organised as always. But then come round 3 of that season, so I did the pre-season, and then round 3, he announces that he's becoming Socceroos head coach. So I only had him for about 3 weeks of that season.
Yeah, wow.
Right. So he gets the Socceroos job.
But you won it that year, didn't you?
No, we didn't win that year. Muskie came in.
Oh, right.
He was assistant coach, and he came in. So
you won it at Melbourne then? That was the second year?
The second year. Yeah. Still had a lot to do with my move there and my start to Melbourne.
So you won 2 in Melbourne, didn't you?
Yeah, so we won the second year, which was probably one of the best atmospheres I've experienced at Amy Park against Sydney FC.
Yeah. We
just had a unbelievable team, and a group of characters and men. We had Mathieu Delpierre, I don't know if you remember him, a French defender who won the Bundesliga in Germany as a captain of Stuttgart. Mark Milligan and Carl Valeri as our 2 midfielders.
Yep.
Wow. Guy Finkler, Besart Berisha, Kaufala, and then myself. So the front 3 was Kaufala, Berisha, myself, and Finkler behind us. And then you had Milligan and Cavalieri Socceroos. We won the semi-final against Melbourne City 3-0, and we won the grand final 3-0. And I don't think for a second I thought we were going to lose either game. It was like sort of reminded me of my time in Brisbane. We played a lot different football, but going into games like confident that you're going to win, which, like I said, I thought it was going to be every year like that, but it doesn't happen often.
Yeah. Is that where you got the record for the quickest goal in the grand final for A-League and NSL?
No, that was the second one.
Oh, second one.
That was the controversial goal in Newcastle,
right.
where it came from a wide free kick, and the guy Donachie knocked it down to me.
Yeah.
He looked like he was in an offside position. A few of them did.
Yeah.
And that was when VAR was just coming into the league.
Okay.
So the linesmen's let it go. The goal's gone. Then they usually obviously check for VAR.
Yeah.
They've gone up to the box and they said they don't have the footage for that minute or two or three that the goal happened. So they couldn't overturn the decision.
Columbaris up there in the box.
Yeah, bribing them with food, a bit of dinner.
Some is it?
So that was the 9th minute. I don't know if it's still the earliest.
That's what it came up.
Okay.
I looked it up.
So there's a lot of controversy about that, but that championship was a lot different. We finished that season 4th. We finished 20-something points behind Sydney FC, who pretty much were all-conquering team that year.
Yeah.
Bobo scored 27 goals in the season. So we played them in the semi-final away and beat them 3-2. And then we played Newcastle. We finished second away in the grand final and beat them. So I think we might be the only team that won it from 4th position.
Really?
Yeah, crazy. Crazy
Unbelievable.
Stuff. Yeah.
Well, then for us Sydney FC fans, you ended up coming back to Sydney and you win it with us. So it's good for us.
Yeah.
But you spent most of your, A-League career in Melbourne, Victory.
Yeah, 5 years at Victory, 3 at Sydney.
Yeah.
1 at Brisbane, and then a few stints at Wellington in between. So
3 stints at Wellington?
Yeah. The first one, again, is like counts, but doesn't count for me because I didn't really feel like a part of the team and I just was finding my feet and I just always, like I said, found myself on the outer.
Yeah.
Just because of my age, I think it was at the time. But 3 stints.
And you enjoyed your time at Sydney FC?
I did, yeah. Talking about great teams, that was ridiculous team that we had at Sydney. When you look through the squad, full of national team players, Ryan Grant, Alex Wilkinson, Ryan McGowan, Michael Zulo, Luke Braddon, Brandon O'Neill, Anthony Caceres, Ninkovic, Baumihan, Adam Lafondra, myself. Some of those guys couldn't even get in the starting team. So
there you go.
Again, by Christmas or by New Year, we were 11, 12 points clear of. I remember probably my favourite game at Sydney as well. We were playing against Melbourne City, who were the next closest to us, and we got Ryan Grant got red card in the first half. We were 1-0 down, red card. Alfie scored from a Messi, I think, set piece. And then 1-1, we were locked, and we had the ascendancy in the game. I don't know why, probably because of the quality we had, but usually when you're down to 10 men, you concede possession. I feel like we had the ascendancy, and I popped up with the winner, and that was like, obviously sent us on our way to being like double digits clear in the table by New Year. Yeah. But just a great feeling, and that's one of the best feelings I've had in a Sydney shirt, because a lot of the time was interrupted with COVID. My time at Sydney, had a crazy time. We had the bushfires the first year, COVID the second year, and then we had the crazy rain clouds the third year. It's like going back to the championship. We were clear by miles and got to Feb or March, and then COVID hit. So we had like 3 or 4 months at home. Started training. I can't remember after how long. And we got back into a bubble to finish the season. There was about 5 games left, and then finals. And we needed to win 1 game, I think, to wrap up the premiership.
Wow.
And and we had it easy compared to the other teams too. We were still at home, whereas other teams relocated to Sydney to finish the season off. But we just, I don't know, mentally something happened.
Just clicked.
No, the opposite. We lost or drew the first like 3 or 4 of those games back.
Oh, right. Yeah, complacent.
So we were getting complacent maybe, or just like...
Too relaxed.
Yeah, just used to being at home and then having to play while dealing with COVID. I remember for me, like my daughter was 6 months old. It was like, what's going on here? A lot of uncertainty. But like I said, it's not an excuse because the other players relocated to Sydney. For some reason, we just hit a slump. We won 1 game, so we wrapped up the premiership. And then semi-final was pretty comfortable as well. But then we played Melbourne City again in the final, then won an extra time. But it was like we were by far the best team. But just that sort of breakthrough COVID could have like derailed the whole thing for us, which would have been a shame. Which would have been definitely a shame to that season. Then we made the grand final the second year too. We lost. We finished second in the league and then lost the grand final. And then the last year was a tough one for me because I fractured my tibia. I think the outside one. So it put me out for 10 weeks. I think.
I think you're right.
Like a week or 2 before the season started. So I missed 10 weeks. That was when we were playing Wednesday, Saturdays, so I missed like 20 of the games. So, but had a great time.
Yeah, was that your sort of first major injury, do you think?
Yeah, in my senior career.
Good run.
Had a few soft tissue, like grade 1s, pardon me, here and there. Just a training ground hit at training and just derailed my whole season. So that was tough to take.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, mate, brilliant. So one last thing. I shouldn't laugh, but your congratulations on 100 goals, by the way, but your 99th goal, cracking goal.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've seen footage of it. So you had it crack from just inside the halfway.
Yeah.
The keeper, I don't know what he was doing, but it looked like he was like Superman in the air, face down, and the ball went over his head.
Yeah.
Poor bloke. Like,
Just mistimed it.
I shouldn't be, I'm not a professional player.
Nah, well, it's not his fault either. And I think, what's the alternative for him though as well? He just lets it go over his head. And
at least he attempted and hoping it was going to hit his hand or something.
Yeah, looking back now, it takes a bit of the attention off the goal because like you're laughing about it, you know. Some people might watch it and think, what's the keeper doing rather than what great awareness to score from that far out, you know?
That's the thing. It was good vision. Yeah. You saw it and the keeper was way out. He started to run back. He's going, I got no chance.
Yeah.
So he dives forward just to hope it'll hit his hand. Yeah. But it didn't. It was a cracking goal.
What made you have the confidence to have a crack from there?
It was just last year, in Wellington, we sat quite deep and allowed, we conceded possession pretty much and played on the counter-attack. And the defender just played a square pass right in my path. I think he might have thought I was further back than what I was, and he was just playing it in front of his teammate. Just landed at my feet. I took a touch with my left foot, took the second touch outside of my right foot, had a quick glance up. There was nothing in front of me, like in terms of my teammates making forward runs. And he's like going like to backtrack backwards. He's outside of his box. So I thought, I'm just going to hit it. I knew I just needed to get my technique right. And if it goes over his head, it's in. And thankfully, I hit it really well. I've tried it since unsuccessfully. It's one of those ones. It's tough. The ball's moving. There's pressure coming onto you.
It's your Beckham moment.
If there's like... If there's a still, if there's a still ball and there's no opposition, I could probably hit that, 8-9 times out of 10. But when you factor in the other things,
it might be like a divot. The ground's not flat.
It doesn't happen. As you probably see, it doesn't happen very often. So
great goal.
It would have been nice to be the 100th one.
Because I saw the goal. I thought, what? Did he get it from there? And it went. Then I thought, what the hell is it? You got it was like Superman taking off.
Well, that was, and then the 100th goal was a penalty, so I would have liked them swapped, but I'll take it.
Good on you. So how many goals have you scored now?
103 in the A-League now.
So that's up there, isn't it? Top 5?
Yeah, top 4,
Top 4.
Yeah, there's Bruno Fornaroli's got I think 8 or so more.
Yeah.
And then there's Barisha and McLaren who are far away.
150 or
150,
something.
yeah.
Okay.
But I'm pretty proud of it. I
Mate,
played
that's
as a winger
fantastic.
for a lot of my career, so
But you got most goal assists.
yeah,
so
most
that's
assists,
huge.
yeah. So to be up there with goals, because only the last probably 4 or 5 years of my career I played as a striker, so to have that is pretty cool. I was always a striker growing up,
Yeah.
but being quite short as I am and fast, you get put on the wing, which I was happy to do. I love making assists as well, but pretty happy with the goals because I've always had that in me as a kid to be a goal scorer too.
Yeah. So did you do athletics when you were a kid at all?
Yeah. But I was up against big Pacific Island kids who are, same age as me, but double my muscle mass and height and strength.
What was your best time in the 100? Do you remember?
I don't remember. And the last time I would have done it was probably as a 14-year-old.
okay.
So, yeah.
Doesn't count then. Yeah.
But I could probably tell you like top speed with a GPS unit is probably around the 37
Wow.
mark, yeah. Maybe not now these days. It might be 36, 35, I don't know. But I've hit around the 37 so mark, yeah.
Oh, wow. Because Jason Saab, NRL,
Yep.
he's not that high, I don't think. But then they're
A lot of
holding
extra
football
weight
in
as
their
well.
hand.
They're holding the football, and it's very rare for us to hit that too. I know the exact moment we had a defensive corner. I know I received the ball in the edge of our box, counter attack, and I just ran from my box to box. But it's with the ball too, don't forget. It wasn't straight running.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't really get the chance to open up to that sort of top speed much either.
Yeah.
Because by the time you get to that speed, you probably need 60, 70 meters, So
I was watching a
And then you got to slow
video.
down as well. And
Yeah.
you got to hit a ball.
yeah,
I was watching a video the other day. My son, he's 8 years old, and he plays football as well. And he sits there watching all the highlights and whatever. He had a video on the other day that was talking about how Mbappe is probably the fastest in I can't remember if they said it was in the world or
he's
in that
up there,
competition
yeah,
or something.
yeah.
But they showed a comparison. It's like, holy shit! Like he actually is. He's unbelievable.
Yeah, him, Haaland is fast, and then Van der Ven, who was at Ange's team, who was at Tottenham, he's a defender and he's rapid.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 37, 38, I think. Crazy, yeah, crazy stuff. Yeah.
All right. Well, we should probably start wrapping up now. I mean,
I've got 4 rapid questions.
4 rapid ones.
And then we can wrap it up. What do you
Beautiful.
reckon?
Yeah. Let's hear them, Nick.
All right. First one's an easy one. Favourite Greek dish? Do you have one?
I've got a couple, but I'd probably say I've got lemon super.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah. Pastitso and I think even fakes would be up there with a bit
Really?
of vinegar, yeah.
Probably
Really
on that.
nice.
Yeah, probably not the standard answer.
No,
Obviously
they're
a
good.
gyro
They're
or
very
something
healthy.
like that.
No, I like the way you think.
But my
That's
wife's
healthy.
Maltese Italian background, but she's learned to master avgolemono, so
Really?
we had it.
What a champion.
I'm
on
more impressed
Friday.
with the fakes. With
Yeah,
the vinegar.
I make
That's
the
awesome.
fakes at
Oh,
home.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So one of those two. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, so dream 5-a-side team with players you've played with. Good question.
Okay. I have to say, I have to put Barisha in there, Archie Thompson, Ninkovic. Do I have to put defenders in there?
You can put whoever you
5-a-side
want
you can put.
No,
Yeah.
all attackers.
I'm going to say Guy Finkler. And just to have one defender, I'll say Mathieu Delpierre, the French
There you
brick
go.
wall. Yeah.
Solid
Yeah.
team.
Pretty good
So
lineup.
you reckon, Tom?
Yeah.
100%.
Okay, who's been your most annoying defender?
Oh,
Maybe give me a couple if you can't pick one.
No,
If you don't want to single anyone
Scott
out.
Jameson was very
Who did he play
tough.
for?
He played for Wanderers for a little bit. He's played Adelaide Wanderers, Melbourne City, and now he's the assistant coach at Melbourne City.
So he was the most annoying.
He was niggly one, and I've since become friends with him. We did our coaching badges together.
Yeah. So when they niggle, is it like the talk
Just
on
chirpy,
the field?
always on your heels,
What would
But
he
it's more
say
the
to you?
chirpy, yeah.
What would he say things like?
No, I don't know. He'd,
Not appropriate. Okay.
off the ball, he'd give me something, and then he'd tell me to get up, or in a not so nice way.
Right.
But I'd give it back. I'm not saying I'm an angel.
Yeah.
We'd give it to each other.
But you knew if you're playing against him.
Yeah,
I'm
you're in
ready.
for a game. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's
It's good.
testament
It's part
to
of the
him.
challenge.
He's a competitor.
Bit of gamesmanship.
Yeah. He sticks out. There's plenty, but it's more like it's quite standard to have a bit of a go.
Yeah.
I'd say things like, for most of the weeks, if a central defender's going to get the ball, I'll say something like, let him have it. Let him have the ball. Just even though he might be a good player on the ball, just him hearing that I'm saying we're letting this guy have the ball because he's no good with the ball.
Good.
Oh, wow.
It might,
like it.
and I feel horrible afterwards, but at the time I think I want to try get in his head.
When you cross that white line, anything goes.
That's right.
So it's a bit of back and forth.
That's funny.
That's great.
Yeah.
See, what do you mean you're letting me have it?
Yeah. It throw him
What's
off.
he got planned?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Even to really good players, I say it because then they're thinking like, have they targeted me as a vulnerability?
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah.
Funny. And who's the funniest teammate you've ever had?
Archie Thompson's got to be up there. Yeah,
really.
He is. Yeah, one of the best players I played with, and one of the best guys around the change room. Just like bridge the gap between experience and youth. He'd have a laugh with everyone. He'd never be serious, and he was one of the best players ever. It was like it was like a game to him. Like, obviously, football's a game, but I mean, like, it wasn't like a reality. It was just like
Doesn't take anything
It was
too
his
serious.
playground. Yeah, it was just like it was a amusement to him, and
Was he funny on the field at all?
yeah, he would like even at training. We'd train at Amy Park day before some games, and there'll be a bit of media there. And because Archie was probably my age or a year older when I got there, probably more the second year. I was probably playing in his position, or Kalfala was playing instead of him. He was coming off the bench. He scored 10 goals off the bench that year, which is crazy. Yeah. But anyway, he was on my side. We were alternating, doing attacking, walkthroughs. He said, Kochi, come give me a hug and smile. He goes, we'll be in the papers tomorrow. He goes, if you take a picture with me hugging and smiling, he goes, they're going to get a snap, and sure enough, we're in the paper. Me and him hugging. Just shit like that,
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
What a classic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Look, we'll wrap it up because we've been going for a while, but we didn't even cover Olympics.
I know.
Yeah.
Just quickly tell us about the Olympics. What was that like?
It was the London Olympics, by the way, not the
Beijing 2008.
I qualified there. I didn't. Yeah, another time I missed the squad.
But 2012 you were there.
2012 London Olympics.
So was I.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But working.
Yeah.
For Qantas at the time.
Yeah,
I was
incredible.
Oh,
for Qantas,
yeah. Long story. And I've met Ange too, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was on the plane going to Honduras.
Yeah.
Through Qantas as well. So
Yeah.
I probably said 2 words to him.
Yeah.
He sat in 1A on the plane, and I forget who he sat next to. I think it was a Nile, and it was a particular player, and he didn't talk to him the whole flight.
Yeah.
Funny. But anyway.
Pretty standard, yeah. But the Olympics, amazing.
2012 London.
Yeah, 2012 London. I just signed for Panathinaikos. Going to the Olympics, I'm like on cloud 9, we got drawn against Brazil at Brazil at St James's Park in Newcastle, Egypt at Old Trafford, and then we played in Coventry's ground, which was Belarus, I think. Which was the first game was a bit anticlimactic, but the other two, Egypt at Old Trafford was the second game, and the crowd was okay, and we sort of like realized afterwards, like it started filling up as the game went on. We're like, fucking hell, they're watching us, and we drew. We did quite well.
Wow.
We realized it's because Brazil was playing there after us, so everyone's getting there for the Brazil game. But our game was full as well. Yeah.
But what did it feel like for you? Number one, to be someone with Greek heritage to be part of the Olympics.
Yeah, obviously, yes. Where it all started. Again, it's sort of a hindsight thing.
Yeah.
At the time, like I said, I'm not like grasping all that at the time.
Yeah.
It's something that I think about afterwards that I'm really proud of. It's sort of like I said, you go into like a bit of a, not selfish mode, but you're just thinking like what I can do to prepare for the next game. Not like, I'm a person of Greek heritage going to the Olympics, but something you think about after. And it's like,
I could imagine, because it'd be rushing. You don't stop and think and look around and take it in.
Have the awareness to think that I do. I'm more like that now. Like all the places I go to with the national team, especially, I explore a little bit. Whereas before,
comes with age.
Yeah, I was stay in my room, get ready, do whatever's right for the next game. But it was amazing, and it doesn't happen often. Obviously every nation's got a select amount of athletes, so I can't imagine there being that many Greeks even represented at the Olympics as well. So I'm happy to be part of that number.
Really. To touch on the Brazil game.
Yeah.
Firstly, how did that go? And secondly, whose shirt did you swap with?
Yeah, I got a great story with that, actually.
Awesome.
The game didn't go great. We lost 3-0, which is probably as expected. I came off and boys were doing shirt swaps. There's a team full of superstars like Thiago Silva, Marcelo, Rafael, Hulk, Oscar.
Wow.
Neymar obviously is the big draw, card.
Yeah.
And
were you number 9 as well for New
I was
Zealand?
7. Yeah. And Neymar had 11 at the time. He hadn't even grown into being the number 10. It was when he was still in Brazil, I think. And he was doing media on the field, and there was like 4 or 5 of our boys waiting behind him, like 10 meters behind him, to ask him to swap shirts because he still hadn't swapped.
Yeah.
And I was on the bench, just soaking it all in after the game, and I just started walking to the tunnel, and I did that as he finished his interview. So we sort of met in the middle of the tunnel.
Yeah.
He shook my hand. I said, "Can we swap shirts?" And he gave me a shirt.
Wow.
Yeah. And not only that, we were staying in the same hotel. So after dinner, we were playing ping pong in the lobby, or he was, and I went up to him. I said, "Can you please sign the shirt?" He wrote in Portuguese, "With love, Neymar 11."
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I got that. Yeah, got that
Amazing.
memory. Yeah,
And you still got the shirt,
I still got the shirt.
framed.
Yeah, not framed yet,
Not yet.
but I will
One
do
day.
once I'm all settled in. Yeah,
That is
Amazing.
huge.
yeah. So obviously awesome. That was our last game too, so it was an awesome send off to the Olympics as well. So.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you didn't line up. You
Didn't
just
even
walked
try.
into the tunnel. And
Yeah.
then
It was
there you
meant
go.
to be.
Meant to be.
There was
eh?
half the team lining
Yeah.
up. I didn't even try. Yeah,
And
just,
how were your teammates with that?
yeah, they were fuming. And I was thinking, is this guy just taking my top and just put it as like to the side as well? But I don't care. I've
He's
got
probably
his
got your top framed
framed.
Well, imagine what's to come at a World Cup.
Yeah.
I mean,
Could be anything. Yeah.
we're going to be watching with great interest, obviously, and cheering you on. Costa, thank you so much for being here, mate. We wish you all the very best for this A-League season. You're at the beginning of this career with Western Sydney.
Yeah.
As I said, we're going to be watching with great interest, mate.
100%.
All the very best. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
No.
Had a blast.
Mate,
That's great.
Love you, mate. Good on you. Keep up the good work and congratulations. And already an amazing career.
Thank you.
But I think you got a couple more
Lot more to
seasons
come.
left, I think.
I hope so.
Yeah.
That's
Well
it.
done, mate.
Stuf,
Thank you,
stuf.
mate.
Well,
Congratulations.
UzorTalk at Outlook.com is the email. Follow us on social media at UzorTalk and at Uzor_talk on Instagram, also on YouTube. Nick Athanasiou, Kosta Barbarouses, thank you so much for being here, gents.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Good luck.
UzorTalk is produced, written and presented by Tom Skolarikas and Nick Athanasiou. Our theme music is written and played by Peter Apostolidis, with additional music from George Kalapidis and Bouzouki legend Thanasis Polykadriotis.
Ακολουθήστε μας στο Soundees, στο Spotify, στο Apple Podcasts και στο Google Podcasts.